This video is brought to you with thanks from NoGuff88. Had a lot of requests for this deck since it was first released a few weeks ago. Phylath World Sculptor versus Grismold the Dreadsower, Tasigur the Golden Fang, and Gishath Sun's Avatar. We have a means of making a few lands. There's not really much of anything to do there, to be honest. And a few too many non-basics for my liking as well, so let's actually try a free mulligan there. Yeah, that looks a little bit better to me. So we'll keep that. Let's go in for... yeah, we'll grab Fabled Passage. Oh, forgot that we draw a card on our first turn, so should have gone for a forest, so that we could get down the Birds of Paradise. That's good, making an error already. Let's just go for a mountain then, because we can get a forest next turn with the Nature's Law and play the Birds of Paradise with that. I don't think it really hurts us any, to be honest. And it's another mountain for us, so let's grab ourselves the forest with the Windswept Teeth. We'll get another basic forest with Nature's Law, and we'll ignore the dual lands for the rest of this game, most likely. That forest takes us into the Birds of Paradise, and we will have 5 mana available to us next turn. Probably just get down the Purphoros, so we'll leave it there, even if we lose Birds of Paradise, which I don't think we will. Even if we do lose it, we'll be able to get the God into play. Diligent Farmhand from the Gishath player, being piloted by Billy Kills, by the way. Up against 3 patrons. Go-Go Batman is on Tasigur the Golden Fang, and Deja Shade is on Grismold. So a big thank you to all 3 of my patrons. At the end of Billy Kills' turn, Go-Go Batman went for Thoughtseize. And I don't know who they milled there. Oh, I think they milled themselves. Negate, and they got rid of Shared Summons as well. Signing Blood from Deja, obviously targeting himself, goes up to 8 cards in hand. So we'll have to discard at the end of the turn. Getting rid of a Pier's Whim. They might wish that they'd kept that if they see the Purphoros hit play. Might see some counter magic from Go-Go here, but we'll get the basic into play anyway. And we can always hit them with the Birds of Paradise as punishment. But they decide not to counter the Purphoros anyway, so we'll hit someone else. Let's go after Deja Shade with the Birds of Paradise. That'll teach them a lesson. Diligent Farmhand being sacrificed by the Naya player now, which will allow them to search for a basic and put it into play tapped. Then another instant speed cantrip in Opt for Go-Go at the end of that turn. And once again they just pass, so they're looking to play things at instant speed by the looks of it. And there's the first commander of the game, Grismold, coming down. We all get plant tokens where the art seems to have shifted. Printing error on Magic Online. But yeah, that triggers the Purphoros. We deal 2 damage to everyone. This is at the beginning of your end step that we get a plant, okay. So let's drop a forest. We can attempt our commander here, but I don't fancy our odds of getting it back out again. I think we'll just buff with the Purphoros and get 1 point of damage on someone maybe. We'll just hold the mana up and make someone worry about some artifact or enchantment removal. I don't fancy our odds of getting through that blue mana. Thunderherd Migration from the Dinosaur player. They revealed a Yidaro Wandering Monster with that, and now they are cycling that. So when you cycle this, it goes into your library, and if you've cycled one 4 or more times this game, then you put it onto the battlefield instead of the graveyard instead. It is an 8/8 with Trample and Haste. It's going to be a far cry to cycle that 3 or more times. We will take a hit from Go-Go. And Go-Go continuing to hold up mana. They discarded a Zareth, so we might have to just play our commander into the counter magic and try and make them use it. Awakening Zone for more tokens over there from Deja. And then the commander going in at Billy Kills. We are going to get a plant token. We'll just take the hit from that one as well. And at the end of the turn, we'll shock all of our opponents with the Perforos again. And it's another land for us, so let's see if we can get past the counter magic. Yep, there's the counter spell. I mean, it's good to get it out of hand at least. Let's say yes at returning it to the command zone. And then Stomping Ground can come in tap to save us shocking it in later on. We've still got landfall to make, so that's good. Deathgorge Scavenger being cast now. And when it enters or attacks, you can exile a card from a graveyard. So they are going after the Zareth. And after that, it is Ripjaw Raptor. Yeah, so I think we've been concentrated on a tiny bit. We haven't had anything done to us, apart from counter magic looking our way. But yeah, Billy Kills is slowly accruing value over there and not getting much attention drawn to them. So yeah, we continue to get swung in at. The plant going in towards us, and then a couple of plants trading. They're probably just worried about the Perforos, and rightly so. Awakening Zone triggering over there now. I'm just counting up the mana here. That is 3, 6, and 7. I think their commander costs 8. Yeah, so if they get a land down next turn, they can go for Gishath. I think we wait for them to get their commander down, get a bunch of dinosaurs into play, and then go Blasphemous Act after that. So I don't know if there's much point in us trying to get our commander down again. I imagine counter magic is still being held up over here. Now the Grismold is coming in at us. That is a 5/5 with trample. So I think we'll block as much of that as we can. And that way we only take 3 points of commander damage. You do have to be wary of how much commander damage you take from Grismold. So that gets some more plus counters on it. Goes up to a 7/7. And they get themselves a Birds of Paradise as well. Yeah, okay. Shared Animosity is something to do this turn at least. We'll get down a land. Now we've got enough mana for our commander again, and we can make landfall next turn. And that will take us into Blasphemous Act, potentially. We just have to hope that Grismold doesn't get above 13 toughness, which there's every chance it will. Often Grismold wants to wipe out all the tokens itself to buff the Grismold. Let's drop Shared Animosity here. So there it is, Gishath Sun's Avatar. Seems to get straight through the Sultai player, so might be that they don't have any counter magic now. Or they really are just saving it all for us. So swinging their Gishath in towards the Grismold player. And leaving everything else back, I think. And in response, it is a Putrefy onto the Gishath from the Grismold player. And they sacrifice their Eldrazi to do that, so this jumps up to an 8/8. Omen of the Hunt comes down from Tasigur. And then Go-Go swings in towards Deja Shade. And there's potential for the Grismold to jump up to a 12/12 here if they trade plants. But deciding against trading plants, keeping hold of some of their tokens. A Knight's Whisper from the Golgari player here. Takes them up to 8 cards in hand, not doing so well on the lands front, unfortunately. And this time taking their 9/9 in towards Go-Go. This might encourage them to use some removal. And they do seem to be tapping out for something. It is a Death Sprout. Destroy a creature, search for a basic and put it into play tapped. So down goes Grismold. Might be able to hold up on the board wipe now because the 2 commanders have gone down in Gishath and Grismold. So biding our time seems to have done us a big favour here. It's noteworthy as well that the tokens from Grismold are plant tokens, and our commander does care about plant tokens, so Grismold helping us in a strange way. Bastion of Remembrance now is an Aristocrat card on an enchantment, so it will be difficult to get rid of. Okay, Valor Cut. We probably play this turn, and then we'll have a 5th mountain for next turn, so yeah, let's go for Phylath. And we'll see if there's any free counter magic. Apparently not, so Perforos triggers on the Phylath. It will trigger on the 6 tokens that enter as well. And if we didn't have a target on our head, we probably have it now. Let's drop the Valor Cut. And we will put it on that one just because it's got power and toughness. And that gives us a 5/5, which is a half decent blocker. So we'll just leave it at that. Now a Quartzwood Crasher, which does make tokens, which is relevant with the Grismold player. It cares about all tokens. And it is likely that it'll be able to hit someone. It's a 6/6 with trample, and the only blockers most of us have in play are tokens. Go continuing to pass through his own turn. I think we'll be turning all these plant tokens in sideways there, and hopefully taking them out with Shared Animosity. Go getting down a Tasigur, exiling all this stuff with the Delve cost. Awakening Zone triggering there now. I think we'll probably turn these plants in sideways at Go and try and get rid of the player that's likely to have the most removal and counter spells and stuff like that. Hoping not to see a board wipe from the Golgari player here. They decide to get down their Grismold first. And they've got quite a few creatures to make us worry about the Bastion of Remembrance. We'll get another plant token and shock everyone with Perforos at least. If we get into Ashnod's Altar, we should be able to take people out with Perforos by replaying our Phylath. Although there is blue mana held up over here, so that's double landfall as well. Let's... what do we go for here? I think we do go for the double landfall. Let's put some plus counters on that plant. And then before we crack the Verdant Catacombs, we might have to go for a dual land with this to switch on the Valakut. Yeah, let's turn some things in sideways first. I do want to try and keep a big creature in play for the return of the Wild Speaker. So all of those plants can go in at Go Batman. That will be 4 of them blocking. And we get 6 and 12 through to them. So maybe we send another one in at them as well. And hopefully that will be able to take them out. Just don't want to play around instant speed stuff. There's all kinds of things that Sultai can do at instant speed, so I'd rather not play against it if I can help it. So that is an 11/5 and some 6/1s. All going in at the same player. And they've got something in response. And some plant tokens are going to go down here, so Grismold is going to get bigger. They're just blocking the tokens that they can actually get rid of. So we get 6/12, and that is 23 through to them. Could have relied on Perforos to get the last points of damage through there, but I don't mind. Okay, rapid hybridization. I was going to say I don't mind putting some plus counters on here for the return of the Wild Speaker. So let's go for that right now. And if they've got counter magic, then they will use it there, I would think. But apparently not. Wow, okay, we've got some stuff there. That's an additional land that we can make. The Ugin, I don't think we can get down. So we'll just allow the rapid hybridization to resolve, and then we'll have a look and see if we want to activate Perforos or anything like that. Grismold will see the token die. Oh, and Perforos does trigger on the frog lizard entering, so that is another 2 points of damage. So that's blocked, that's blocked, that's blocked, and that's blocked. That is 12 points of damage. So I say we just play a creature this turn, or try to, and we'll get rid of Go with that. We could always wipe the board as well. If we're worried about Grismold, I think I might actually consider doing that. We could wipe the board, and the Bastion of Remembrance will take out Go. Yeah, that's an 11/11, so I think I might actually go for that. So let's go for Blasphemous Act. Thought I had priority held up there, so yeah, I thought I'd have time to go for the Birds of Paradise, but it hasn't held onto priority, so hopefully we don't lose out on that mana. And there we go, something being added to the stack should allow us to tap the Birds of Paradise. I should have just paid for the Blasphemous Act with that. So let's just go for... We've got plenty of green stuff in hand, so we'll just make green. And that's Heroic Intervention. That saves all of their stuff. That feels pretty bad. Yeah. That means Grismold could potentially take someone out next turn. Bastion of Remembrance takes down Go-Go. And it's a bunch of plus counters on the Grismold. Ripjaw Raptor will draw a card thanks to damage being dealt to it. Put our commander in the command zone. And yeah, Ugin would be able to help us here if we had the mana to cast it. Unfortunately, haven't ramped quickly enough, so I think we're going to be taken down by a Grismold next turn. Yeah, because we've already got some commander damage on us. I think it just has to be Oracle of Muldaya. We'll go for a Tiger. The Oracle will allow us to make another land this turn. Unfortunately, we don't have a means of making lots of mountains, so let's just go like that. Valakut, point it over there. Hopefully Billy Kills can do some damage to Deja Shade. But I don't think there's much of anything else we're doing here. So we'll just pass the turn and hopefully we've helped Billy Kills to do something. Don't think we've seen much in the ways of removal yet from Billy Kills, so he might have a board wipe of his own. Apparently not. Thrashing Brontodon. Might get rid of the Aristocrat card here. But instead deciding to go for Garrick, Primal Hunter. They draw some cards, so holding up the white mana, looking for Swords to Plowshares or something like that, I imagine. So they might hold on to that, wait for Grismold to take us out, and then go for it if they've got it. Awakening Zone will continue to trigger. They can sacrifice that creature and make their commander a 21/21. They have enough power to trample through the Oracle and give us 21 points of commander damage as it is anyway. So going through to combat. And as you would expect, Grismold coming in at us, that is what they should do. Because we probably take out both players next turn with our Perforos and Impact Tremors. So we'll just try our luck and block there and hope that Billy Kills does something to help us out, but he probably shouldn't. And there we go, we go down to 21 exactly. Had we have blocked with the Birds of Paradise before, we could have survived there, but then they would have cracked the Eldrazi and gotten the extra point of damage on us, so I don't think that was really of any relevance. Essence Harvest now. Target player loses X life and gains X, where X is the greatest power amongst creatures you control. A 20/20. They go for Thrashing Brontodon onto the enchantment, which does nothing, so looks like this is Deja Shade's victory. There we go, knocking him down to -7. That was a pretty commanding victory from Grismold. Hopefully you all enjoyed our first visit to Phylath World Sculptor in multiplayer. Make sure you leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you did. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.